Hi, and welcome to Retail Media Thursdays. I'm Dana Marlin, Senior Customer Manager at Sky, and today we're filming a special episode at Sky's ShopAble, live in New York City.
This is Claudia Virgilio, Global Vice President of Strategic Agency Partnerships, and with me I have Stephanie Nelson with Acosta. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, so Stephanie Nelson, VP of Performance and Commerce Media at the Acosta Group, and I'm excited to be here to chat with you today, Claudia.
Hi, I'm Melissa Martin. I'm the VP of Media and Strategy for SYNERGISTIC. With me, I have Megan Jordan. Thank you so much for joining us from Advantage Unified Commerce.
Happy to be here. Hey, I'm joined by Rory Foster. Rory, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. So currently I'm doing fractional CGO work, but as I think you know, I'm XP&G and I led our digital commerce. So very near and dear topic to my heart and super excited to be here.
Hi, I'm Sarah Johnson. I am the Director of Brand and Marketing at Hatchery. We are a full service agency in Bentonville, Arkansas. And I'm super excited to be here today with you.
Right now, we have the opportunity, and my biggest opportunity, to introduce Jerry Naden, a former shoer, Ken Shoer, from before we became Sky. So Jerry Naden, who is founder and CEO of Allied Digital Strategies. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
Such a pleasure.
No, thank you for having me.
My name is Megan Herbold, and I work for AMT. AMT is basically the first enterprise platform out there that connects offsite to retail. And what I mean by that is we're giving you measurement, we're giving you the ability to truly optimize your offsite media with retail outcomes.
Yeah, I'm Tim from Front Row. I'm Managing Director at Front Row, responsible for the European division of Front Row, but we work globally with big teams in Europe as well as in the US. And we help our clients to grow on any commerce channel out there. We have a strong focus on Amazon, but also beyond Amazon on any retail media channel at scale.
So I'd love to know, looking back 12 months ago, what is something you wish you knew now that would really be helping you today?
Yeah, I think AI, right? And we've been talking about it all morning, and I'm sure it's going to be a theme that comes up a lot, but AI is so huge in transforming our industry. And I think if 12 months ago I would have known that, or would have started getting further ahead on that, then we'd be further ahead today. So really excited for all the new tools that Sky has for us to be able to bring AI into the fold even more than we are now and really grow that part of our business.
What I didn't know 12 months ago that I know now is so enlightening is just how all the different retail platforms are approaching their go-to-market strategies. And I would say what's been exciting in this space, not that it hasn't been for the last decade, is that the advancements and how retail media continues to disrupt what we would call today your traditional marketing funnel, because of all the different ways you can measure and holistically reach a consumer that you couldn't in the same way you could 10 years ago.
I did not know how far we would come with incrementality in the space. Something that is still far from perfect, but within all of the retailers and then obviously our tech partners, we have seen huge leaps and bounds in this area and are getting far more clarity.
I think it's a really interesting time right now as more and more brands are investing in Gen AI. I think as retail media networks also are getting more sophisticated with not only data collection, but also activation across the board and attribution. If I had a crystal ball, and maybe it's also a little bit of wishful thinking too, I think any type of unified measurement where we can really maybe break down some of the walled gardens a little bit more and get a better view into how really holistic retail media works at the consumer level across multiple retailers and having a little bit more unified measurement, I think that will get a little bit more refined in the next months.
I think that there's two pieces to that. So 12 months ago, I wish I had put as much weight as I'm putting on content now, and how important content is on both PDP for digital shelf, but also optimizing for AEO. So as soon as answer engine optimization plays into this space, our investments in retail media are also going to have to be feeding our answer engine strategy.
Listen, I think the pace of change is so much that 12 months ago we had zero clue what was coming in terms of, I don't know, GEO or SEO or like what it really means to provide an authentic experience for the shoppers, given how fast and everything is changing in terms of where they want to shop, how they want to shop, who they trust, who they don't trust, where their loyalties lie. And so when we think about kind of 12 months ago, the power of that creative experience, that copy, that content, and it's not just for the shopper, but it's the agents that are now doing the shopping on behalf of you, right? The human. So you have to be able to understand how to write creatively, how to write for AI, and that is a skill that's going to take some time to master, so I kind of wish we all started it a little bit sooner.
I'd have to say the emergence of AI, it just, and one of the speakers said earlier today is that there's a lot of data and there's a lot of information that clients have that touch different departments, and we're starting to see the rise of that data where it wasn't once important, but now it's starting to come into play. So I'd say none of us really knew what AI was going to do, but with ChatGPT, and I can say that we've started to use Sky's Celeste tool, and we're finding some really interesting data points. So I'm going to say that we didn't know a year ago, but it's coming on strong now.
If I had known that it takes so much longer on the brand side to connect trade people, so sales people, with the brand people in order to bring together trade marketing budgets to brand marketing budgets, I would have probably pushed harder on that already 12 months ago.
So what do you think a year from now, if we're sitting here at ShopAble 2026, what do you think we're going to be talking about? What do you think is going to be new, the latest thing?
I think customers are they're going to have to adopt ChatGPT and then ShopGPT, but they're going to need to be able to use a tool, forecasting tool. Sky's got a number of different tools that we use, but I think the Celeste tool is going to allow it more data sets to be brought in, and I think you're going to have more A/B testing happening, but happening in real time, so you're not going to see side budgets set aside for a specific A/B test. It's going to naturally be happening because you're going to have a lot more data sets.
I think consolidation is probably going to be happening, at least as far as all of these RMNs that are opening up. Pretty much every grocer wants to have their own now, and there's only so much food on the table. So I think that we'll start to see consolidation either through technology and platform or through partnerships, even across competitors.
A lot of what we heard this morning with, Celeste and generative AI, I think you're only going to start to see that really infiltrate everything that not only agency partners are doing on behalf of brands, but really how brands are thinking about it as part of a holistic part of their strategy. The reality is every single brand is working from the same dollar pot. Like the pot isn't getting bigger, it's the distribution of where that dollar is being spent. And things like Celeste are going to just help marketers ensure that pot of money is being spent in the most effective way to really drive what we like to say at the Acosta Group, retail outcomes. No longer just about how efficient can my return on ad spend be, but really how are my investments incrementally helping me grow share in the category, gain more shelf space in store, because those are the things that are going to continue to move and evolve the retail ecosystem forward.
I think we are going to make a lot of strides with getting clarity across channels, but it's also in the same vein going to get a little murkier. I think brand budgets and retail budgets are going to start to blend, and figuring out where we're going to place those bets is going to be the biggest thing.
So Gen AI will definitely improve efficiency in how teams work across different retail media channels. It will also support providing insights across the different touch points for sure. But what I'm most excited about and hope we're gonna be there, or at least a big step towards that, is to connect all the different touch points that we have across retailers.
I think, again, just kind of sticking on the theme of agentic AI, which is, of course, a huge theme here at ShopAble, but the reality is we are not going to be doing a lot of the things that we do today as humans. And these agents are going to be created to do 1,000 different things. What is teaching them? So I think the next 12 months are going to be really pivotal in us as a society really talking about what we should be training them on, how we should be training them. I know a lot of those conversations are happening, but I think we're going to finally actually start to see that come to fruition, and things like agentic shoppers and the machines that are building to optimize our marketing, right? They're going to be a heck of a lot smarter because we will have come to some form of almost like standardization or, again, kind of like a societal norm of what these things can and should do.
Social commerce has become more of a topic today. Are you incorporating social commerce into your retail media strategy?
Yeah, it's really interesting when we think through when to leverage what channel at the appropriate time, and it really comes back to who are we trying to reach and leveraging audience data and how they go about their path to purchase and discovery, and leaning into that coupled with the different types of distribution channels. So absolutely, especially as we're taking a look at Gen Z population and even from like a millennial perspective and how they're leaning into leveraging a variety of social channels, not only from discovery but actual purchase. We definitely are incorporating that as a stop along the journey just to make sure all of our clients are really being able to reach and engage with the individuals at the times that they're wanting to shop and when they're wanting to hit their zero moment of truth and purchase their product.
How would you advise people to sort of consider social commerce in their retail media strategy?
Yeah, again, there's kind of like a here and now moment and there's the future moment. I think here and now, there's what I like to call the shopper dilemma. You've got social commerce, which is really that buyable media that's happening right this second. You're influenced on Instagram, you buy from Instagram, very impulse oriented, very truly, if you want to call it, bottom of the funnel. Then you've got the social media that's being used for awareness and consideration, all super, super valuable, very important to kind of get those touch points, get that awareness going with a brand. But you've got this kind of like middle ground of shoppers who are, again, looking to be influenced, looking to research in a social media experience, but aren't quite ready to buy, need a little bit more information, or most importantly, want to buy from a retailer that they truly trust. They want to go to an Amazon because they already have that account signed in. They want to go to a Walmart because they know it'll be pick-upable in store, right? Those experiences and that loyalty is very, very important, and it's not really being addressed today well. And I think the big reason why is because this concept of social commerce, right? It's being understood as just that impulse piece and not thinking about that middle of funnel super well. And again, the tools hadn't really existed before to allow for that seamless shopper experience when you're in the MOFU. So I think that's one of the things that AMP is here to help with, right, is to make sure that you're delivering a very seamless experience from an Instagram ad into Amazon. You're getting that measurement as a marketer so that you can continue to understand what creatives are actually working for that audience, understand that shopper intent better to inform other retargeting or other audience building campaigns that you're doing, and ultimately get that purchase at the point that the shopper is ready to make it.
In your world, do you think retail media should sit on the media side or the e-com side, or should we sort of get rid of silos altogether?
Yeah, I am a big fan of ditching the silos.
All right.
All of our clients are omni-channel, right? They're in multiple retailers. They're on Walmart.com, Amazon.com, and you have to meet them where they are. So we have to be an omni-channel agency. So we really think that it's inefficient to be broken up. You have a brand team over here, you've got your content over here. Everyone working together is really the way to growth and to success. So definitely ditch the silos and get everybody working together and collaborating in order to grow those clients.
What do you think is the biggest opportunity today?
Well, I think having a great platform, first of all, big fan of yours, is important because having that single pane of glass view across your investments really helps you strategize where you're spending and where you're getting your best ROI. But when it comes to actual putting content into play, I think having personalization as kind of in your strategy is really key, both for the different platforms themselves, understanding what the algorithms are going to favor so that you're creating content that fits that algorithm's search pattern, but also what the consumers of those different retail marketplaces are looking for in those questions.
So I have to ask, is the retail media bubble going to burst, or are we just getting started?
So a clear no. First of all, I don't think it's a bubble, right? So you see some characteristics of a bubble because there's so much money flowing into retail media. However, the basis is so robust, so the advantages of retail media are so robust, so clear, like first-party measurement, like closed-loop measurement, and also being so close to the point of purchase. You can't ignore those advantages. But the question is, do we need to differ between on-site retail media, which is kind of an add-on to what we have in the media landscape, and offsite retail media, where retail media just provides the data, yeah, so the shopper data in order to run programmatic elsewhere in the open web. And here retail data needs to show the true value of their data compared to any other signals that we can incorporate into programmatic. But I'm sure what we currently see is a reaction to a fast-pacing channel over the past couple of years, and it's more like a correction, and it's not a bursting bubble. So I don't see any doom scenario here.
I'm so glad you could join us today, Melissa.
Thanks for having me, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here and enjoy the rest of the day.
Yeah, thank you, Claudia. It's been great.